Excellent.
Hi, everybody, and thank you for Jason for joining us. He's my favorite information technology librarian here at UGA, and he's going to be helping us understand the topic I chose. This is about embracing legal literacy and our little timeline here at UGA, how we got to that point. If you wouldn't mind telling us how it all started.
So the law school and the library have always been very, I want to say, amenable to embracing our information technology, legal technology. There aren't a lot of law libraries that actually have my position in information technology librarian, especially when I joined about 10 something years ago. Anyway, I think the real big change came in 2015, 2014, when the legal technology competency trend hit the universe. Casey Flaherty did the whole, I'm doing this audit because lawyers are wasting time just kind of not using technology well. And we got really excited about that because we're always looking for a way to introduce legal technology education to our students and, embrace technology for our faculty. So suddenly, aha, here's someone in the real world saying lawyers need to know about how to use technology well as part of their ethical duties. So we jumped on that. We did some lunchtime presentations, got some enthusiasm. And eventually we went to the dean to say we would like to have a class about this. That was rubber stamped almost immediately. They saw the value in it. And we have been teaching a class called Technology for Legal Practice since 2017.
Awesome.
And we have been teaching it ever since. And it is very popular. Well, very popular. It is incredibly popular with the people that end up taking it. At the end, they say, oh my gosh, this is. So that's kind of the history of legal technology education at the law school.
And is the timeline similar to other law schools and law libraries, you think? Did everybody kind of get on the same page around the same time, or are there differences? Did others start teaching courses earlier, or are there some that are still not teaching it?
So I feel like, so to answer in a very roundabout way, the first question I'll answer is, were there schools doing this before? Absolutely. I think there are places like Chicago, Kent, some of the University of California schools, some of the Boston law schools were doing some legal technology, but I think it really got everybody's attention when this legal technology audit started making the rounds. And I would say maybe about 18 months after that first article kind of made the rounds, you started seeing a lot of new legal technology courses being offered, usually by librarians, sometimes by very interested faculty or visiting adjunct professors. And then they ranged from, a single credit hour, maybe like a mini session, to a full-blown 3 credit hours. We're sitting here and we're doing some seriously in-depth stuff. So there were some pioneers, but I feel like right around, I think everybody kind of sees the same opportunity, and it has been I think it's plateaued for the moment. I think we're kind of waiting to see. We've actually kind of hit a point of saturation. There's everybody who wants to teach a technology course in law school is teaching, so we're kind of maxed out on bandwidth.
Okay, well, that's good to know. And what is on the curriculum for this course, just in a nutshell? Because I'm sure there's a lot, but what makes it different from a normal information literacy class for just anybody?
Sure. At least the one we teach, we ground the entire thing in an attorney's ethical duties to competently represent their clients, do it zealously, communicate efficiently and quickly. So start there and then just spend half the class just focus on here's how to use your basic technology tools. Here's how to use Microsoft Word, PowerPoint, Outlook, Excel, various PDF editing softwares. That's more than half the course right there, is just using the tools you already have. And then after that, it's a lot of artificial intelligence, some things about e-discovery, and then it actually, the curriculum shifts depending on whatever new technology, as older technologies become ingrained in people, and new technologies are like, ooh, what is this? What's this blockchain thing? Well, what do I need to know about NFTs? What about these deep fakes? Those kinds of things get rolled into the curriculum.
Awesome. And I know, because I've seen it, how passionate you are about this and how well you do this, and all the student feedback is just definitely making sure that that is the case. But what is the favorite part of this class for you? What do you enjoy teaching these tech skills to law students the most?
I never actually know what's going to resonate with a particular class, but I think so sometimes it's, man, I'm so glad you told me about this thing in Microsoft Word, or, oh my gosh, being able to talk about, the different artificial intelligence tools that are available in our favorite research databases kind of made me so happy about, made my judge or my supervising attorney really happy. But what I love teaching the most is how to use PowerPoint really well, because it is so easy to use PowerPoint really badly. And everybody has an experience of sitting and watching a PowerPoint like, oh, this is so bad. So I really, and especially for attorneys who, if they're going to be in trial, there is a certain amount of pageantry, showmanship, things they have to be able to, convince people with their arguments. And then so a bad PowerPoint can actually tank a really good legal argument, but a good presentation can absolutely elevate it above and beyond. So I really like showing people, here's a technology tool you're familiar with, and you know how bad it can be used, but let me show you how great it can be. And that usually that gets some excitement from people.
Interesting. That's not the answer I expected, but maybe this is something that I need to be, visiting the class for myself, since I'm kind of relatively new to PowerPoint. I hope these slides are up to your expectations, but that's something that's a good takeaway, because when we hear teaching tech for future lawyers, we imagine something that us in the regular world wouldn't use, but apparently it's how to use existing technology that everybody uses well in a different setting. So give us one tidbit. What is it that you recommend with the PowerPoint? What do people do? Is it the effects or colors or templates or none of the above?
The big thing I try to emphasize is that PowerPoints tend to be a crutch that people use, that they just throw all of their notes there and then they just kind of stare at their slides and then just read off of it, where they should be, making eye contact and then having very minimal distractions on the PowerPoint. It should be, the point you're trying to make, a visual that emphasizes the discussion point that you're bringing up. So the big thing is remove distractions, make your slides very simple, cut down on the words, those kinds of things. And it's because you want the two working in tandem. You got the left side of your brain, your right side of your brain. You want both of those engaged, listening to me talk and then just seeing some good visuals on the screen. So there's some pageantry there. So I think that actually gets, so people get it, like, oh yeah, no, if I'm reading the slide, I'm not listening to the person. I'm listening to the person. I'm not getting all the cool information from the slide. Both can work.
Awesome. I'll keep that in mind, and hopefully I can improve my own PowerPoint game here. To close us off, How do you think this is helping our law students become better lawyers? All of the courses or lunch and learns or presentations, how does it make them a better lawyer when they step out into the real world?
Sure. What happens with a lot of lawyers when they're going out into the real world, because in lawyership actually is a bit of an apprenticeship. You're actually during law school, you're going out during your summers and you're spending summers working for a judge or another attorney. And a lot of these judges and attorneys, their knowledge about technology is kind of usually just kind of stuck in the moment. They learned enough to get by, and now they don't want to learn anything more about technology. They just want to focus on the law. So one of these students comes in and like, hey, you're young, you know technology, right? Fix all these things. And sometimes the students will just, usually they were just like, oh, and then they spend a lot of time on Google kind of freaking out. What I have heard that this course does is, they go and say like, okay, fix these things. Well, I can do this and I can do this, but so just giving them the language and the confidence to talk about technology with their supervisors, with their cohorts, with their peers. They don't need to know everything. And actually, I prefer that they kind of acknowledge, there's a universe that they don't know, but here are the tools to learn about all of those cool things and to teach everybody else around you. And that has been the biggest and best takeaway.
Awesome. Well, thank you for being on the forefront of this issue and being one of the pioneers. In the bibliography, you are also featured in some of the videos that we have in our digital commons where you started. It's documented how you started this movement over here. And thank you for keeping up the great work. And apparently all of our future lawyers and their firms and all of us who take advantage of their services are benefiting from it. So thank you again for your work and for the interview as well.
Thank you for the opportunity.